The Hills Have Eyes is shocking to this day.
What began as a vacation ended as a nightmare.
Very much shot in a documentary style. This was a trademark of films in the 70s. They just seemed like you were watching real events unfold. They weren't films, they were experiences. They felt unclean, dirty, unpredictable and ground level. It tells the story of a regular family who are going on vacation in the middle of nowhere with these very intimidating hills surrounding them. They're then hunted by these horrific residents who are watching them. Wes Craven really builds the film up well as we slowly start to notice something sinister about the hills surrounding this family. I don't know what it is, but these hills are just intimidating. They're looming, and I think that's because there's no way to know what's hiding in them, obviously, and because they're so dangerous. When the family dog runs away into those hills and one of the villains murders him, it's such a harrowing moment when the young son Bobby makes that discovery. It's traumatic, and it's just mental to imagine yourself in that situation because you discover your beloved pet, but then you're in pure danger and you're running around these hills which you could slip at any time and just die. Like, it's literally the raw, horrible nature of nature around you is what these characters are experiencing, but then they're also being hunted by nutcases too. And you really feel for the family going through this. The family are actually very likeable in this film. Like, even the father, he's a bit of a jerk, but you get the impression he's a good guy deep down who loves his family. The family feels very genuine and real. They're flawed, but they love each other, and they're normal people who have loyalties. This film clearly juxtaposes the notion of the regular American family chasing the American dream with the horrific characters they encounter. We meet good-hearted regular people who are flawed, and then we encounter basically just pure monsters.
That was a bad mistake.
The Hills Have Eyes.
These evil people are humans, so in a way they actually represent the other side of the tracks. The direction humanity could go down if they are left to their own devices and exposed to certain things they never should be. It's such an interesting idea. If the good regular family lived in these hills instead, would they have become just as sick and twisted? Is it our circumstance and location and the way we're raised that moulds us? Or is there indeed a moral compass that everyone is aware of, that this isolated family have just thrown away? And there's no good to them, and there never has been. I don't know, I'm just always fascinated with characters like these. I'm always sat there asking myself, how did this behaviour become normal to them? Were they always like this? Did something happen? But the film makes sure to not answer that question. Instead, it just shows us these people in their vile element. When one of the assailants invades the caravan and just starts freaking out and targeting the baby, you sat there in shock. The stuff with the baby is just fucking insane. That's like the ultimate deranged evil act you could ever do. Tormenting a little child, but these people just don't care. And Wes Craven just shoves the camera into that crammed tiny caravan and just forces you to confront it. He never gives you anywhere to turn. Just like the characters, you're stuck there in a confined space with pure evil. It's bonkers. The actors they got for these villains are so convincing. Michael Berryman as the character of Pluto is just unforgettable. Michael Berryman is such an expressive actor. That face can just go anywhere and take you anywhere. The way that he can contort himself to be terrifying, to be man but also monster. You're watching human beings, but they're not really human anymore, but they still are. It's just freaky to see people kind of in between.
You have an American family who lost everything except the will to survive. The Hills Have Eyes.
I think this is a really impressive film for the time. I think Wes Craven was really pushing boundaries. He did a lot with a confined space. It's a great idea, and it would have really scared people at the time, because how much this still disturbs me to this day. It would have blown people's minds back in the day. It's a truly shocking film.